Understanding Keep with Next in Word. Keep headings and text grouped together on a page. Let's say I want to improve the readability of my document and ensure headings and text are grouped together nicely on the pages. Instead of adding manual page breaks or even leaving excess blank lines, which can all get in the way when continuing to work on your document, you can apply the Keep with Next formatting option. Firstly, we need to turn on our paragraph or formatting marks. From the Home tab, within the paragraph group, if I click on the backwards P, the pilcrow, I can see all the formatting symbols. You don't have to work with these on all the time, but they can come in quite handy, especially when editing a document. Down the bottom of my first page, we can see I have a heading and one line of text. If I were to add paragraph E up here, we can see that my heading and line of text have jumped to the next page. That's because proper heading styles, created correctly, have Keep with Next applied already. This is indicated by the little black square in front of the heading lines. If I press Ctrl+Z, which is undo, our text has jumped back onto the previous page because these lines are grouped together. So in essence, Keep with Next means that this line or paragraph must be kept with the following line or paragraph, and if it doesn't fit all on one page, move it to the next page. Let's say I've realized I don't need this main heading and line of text and I delete them. Now my subheading and the first paragraph are at the bottom of the page, but the rest of that section is on the following page. I can apply Keep with Next to this paragraph so that it is forced to stay with the next paragraph. I can highlight the paragraph I want to apply Keep with Next to, but note I actually only need to be clicked on that paragraph or line. I don't have to highlight it. From the Home tab, within the paragraph group, if I click on that little dialog box launcher in the bottom right corner, it brings up the paragraph window. Then from that Line and Page Breaks tab, I can select Keep with Next and click OK. And now that has forced not only the heading, but the next paragraph to stay with the next line of text, and it's all on the next page nicely. If we scroll down to the bottom of this page, we can see there are a few lines of text and the main heading. It would improve readability if section 4 just started on that next page. Some users leave lots of blank lines after their text just to get it to appear at the top of the next page, but that really isn't the right way to do it, especially when the document may still be edited overall. I can apply Keep with Next to each of these paragraphs instead. I will highlight them all at once, and then from that paragraph window, Line and Page Breaks, Keep with Next. And now it's all jumped onto the next page. And now that looks much better. If we check the bottom of this page, we can see there is a section heading here. We can technically apply Keep with Next to these A and B paragraphs so that it all jumps onto the next page. But if you always want this section heading to appear at the top of the new page, I would insert a proper page break in this case. If I click after my paragraph, I'm going to change back to my main body text style or the normal style, leave another blank line, and now I need to insert a page break. There's a number of ways to do this. I can go to the Insert tab and then Page Break, but a quick keyboard shortcut to insert a page break is Ctrl+Enter. Now if I were to turn off my paragraph marks from that Home tab, it's really hard to tell what's going on. I don't know if I have blank lines or a page break or what's going on. So it is really important to have these turned on when you're trying to edit a document. I'm going to delete this extra blank line that doesn't need to be here as well. Note I prefer to at least leave one blank line before I have a page break where possible, just to ensure the formatting doesn't get muddled up. Let's scroll down to the bottom of this new page. We can see here that the table splits over 2 pages. Whilst our heading rows have been set via the table properties to repeat on the top of each page, which is good practice, in this particular case, it would be best if the whole table was on the one page, as it's only a short table. So we can actually apply Keep with Next to table rows as well. So as we want all rows to be on the one page, simply highlight all the rows except for the last row. From the Home tab, Paragraph dialog box launcher, line and page breaks, Keep with Next, OK. And now the table's all jumped onto the next page for me. I could actually apply Keep with Next to these A and B paragraphs as well, because those and the heading may as well be at the top of the next page with the relevant table. Another way to get to that paragraph window, if you right-click on the selected text or even the line you're on and choose Paragraph, it brings that one up. And now I can just apply my Keep with Next. So that's looking much better. Note that in the larger table, you may just want to apply Keep with Next to the first 4 or 5 rows, maybe the heading rows and 1 or 2 of your normal rows. That way, at least that much of it will appear at the bottom of a page. Otherwise, if that's not all going to fit, then it will move it to the next page for you. If I have a look at my Schedule 1 table, I can actually see there's also a section heading row at the bottom of this page when it really should be at the top of this page with the relevant rows. All I need to do is highlight the row and from my paragraph window, turn on my Keep with Next. I might like to add that to the other section heading row just to help when you edit it in the future. If someone copies one of those, it's already set. Let's do a print preview. You can either go to File and then Print or use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+P. That way you can scroll through your document and just check everything is actually now displaying nicely on the pages and it's looking professional. I can use the back button in the top left or just press the Escape key on my keyboard. Let's return now to section 2. I'm going to use the cross-reference here, and as indicated, I can hold down the Control key and left-click my mouse to jump up to that spot within the document. As a side note, please view our separate training video to learn all about working with cross-references. Now let's say I need to add a paragraph E here. Here's one I prepared earlier. Once that's been added, I can see this long paragraph here is actually split across 2 pages. It is fine like that, or I might choose that I want it to all be grouped together. I don't want to apply Keep with Next in this case, but if I go back to that same paragraph window, there is an option for Keep Lines Together. And that will force the paragraph to all stay together on the page, not necessarily with the next line, just with itself. Note that Keep Lines Together is also indicated by that same little square in the front as Keep with Next. And you can only see those, remember, when the paragraph marks or formatting marks are turned on. And obviously these marks don't print or anything. For reference, if your heading styles have been set properly, Keep with Next and Keep Lines Together should already be applied to them. To save time, let's add a shortcut for Keep with Next to the Quick Access Toolbar. The Quick Access Toolbar, or the QUAT, usually shows above the ribbon, but I personally like to have it showing below the ribbon. I can right-click on the Quick Access Toolbar and customize the Quick Access Toolbar. Instead of popular commands, I'm going to select all commands. And then in this section, I'm going to scroll down just over halfway, locate and select Keep with Next, click on the Add button and click on OK. And now I have that option in my Quick Access Toolbar, or my QWOT. If I were to click on my paragraph A here, I can now see there's a little tick in here indicating it is applied. And if I click on the B, it's not ticked because it isn't set. We can also use this new shortcut to apply Keep with Next to paragraphs. I'll add it to this B paragraph as the document would flow better because this line should actually be with that next line. And if I click on it, it's really quick to apply Keep with Next. For reference, you can also add a keyboard shortcut to apply Keep with Next as well, but we'll stick with the one in the QWOT for this video. So, we have applied Keep with Next to the main paragraphs, but note that if you are going to continue editing your document, potentially adding or removing lots of paragraphs, or you would like to make it easier to update your document in the future, it can be a good idea to skim over all your text and apply Keep with Next in other logical places too, so your text will continue to display on pages nicely. Let's scroll to the top of the document. I personally tend to like to add Keep with Next to the first A paragraph in each section, so it never ends up the only paragraph at the bottom of a page. I also like to apply it to any lines that finish with a colon to make sure that's always kept with the following line. In a short section like this, I could actually apply Keep with Next to the I line as well if I wanted, so that if this was near the bottom, I don't end up with just this line on the following page, it would all move to the next page. I'll just add Keep with Next to a few more paragraphs using my Quick Access Toolbar shortcut. I might even like to put it on that one as well. Here and here. Perhaps this one and that one. And that one. And you know, I could actually put it on this unnumbered paragraph here too. If this whole section 6 was right down the bottom of the page, I don't end up with just this tiny little bit at the top of the next page. The whole section would move to the next page. Just be careful not to overuse Keep with Next. You don't want it on every paragraph, and the final paragraph in any section should never have it applied. If you have a document that has large gaps that don't make sense, or a table with a large space and it looks like another row should easily fit, check which lines or rows have Keep with Next applied in that paragraph window, as this can often be the culprit, and removing incorrectly applied Keep with Next will often fix the problem. Hopefully this video has given you a better understanding of using Keep with Next in Word. Once you get used to working with it, you can apply Keep with Next as you create your document. In the long run, Keep with Next saves lots of time and frustration when further editing a document, so you don't have to manually add or remove page breaks or those cheeky extra blank lines. Please like this video if you found it helpful and subscribe to our Help Me Format YouTube channel to discover more tips and tricks.